Welcome back to a new video. I'm Chrissy, hi, and this is going to be the first ever sketchbook tour on my channel, and this one's going to be special because it is the first sketchbook I finished doing the Slam Sketchbook challenge. There are many more sketchbooks to come, but this is the first one, and it has 74 pages. So this is going to be me and you getting an experience of flipping through each page and talking about it. Before we jump into it, let me explain the Slam Sketchbook Challenge. It's pretty much 20 pages in a sketchbook every single day. For my brain saying like 30 or 300. Those are two very different numbers. So I think it was 30. If it's 300, oh my god, I'm gonna pass out. It can't be. There ain't no way. It's 30. It's 30. There's no way. If you do not know what the Slam Sketchbook Challenge is, it's 20 pages for 30 days every day. I'm doing it for 30 days, but those 30 days are not consecutive. If you do not know, the Slam Sketchbook Challenge is drawing 20 pages for 300 days. Okay? Makes sense? 300. Oh my god, 30 days. 300. I keep making that mistake, adding another zero. It's only 30 days. The Slam Sketchbook Challenge is drawing 20 pages every day for 30 days. So this was filled in with a time process of 3 days. Those were not consecutive days. I just did them when I could get to them. So this is all drawings that got done within 3 days. So let's jump right in. But if you haven't yet, please subscribe and like. And if you are interested in more of my content, go check it out. I do animations, traditional art, speed draws. I do a whole lot. So make sure to jump into that when you're done with this video. Starting with the cover, now this wasn't part of the Slam Sketchbook process. I had this cover done before I even started the challenge because I decided I wanted to do some painting and paint a cover of a sketchbook, and I thought it would be just great to do that. And so when I was deciding to do a cover for the sketchbook, I thought, which sketchbook am I okay with ruining? So it was this one, and it doesn't have the logo or marking on it, but it is a art skills sketchbook. My mom got it from me for the dollar store, so I wasn't afraid of ruining it, and actually it held up very nicely. It has just a normal sketchbook cover, and the pages are quite nice, actually. It held most art mediums. So with that being said, there's the cover. The inspiration I decided was that any art cover I like either has a sunset or sunrise color palette and a random item and then flowers. And I just threw a character in there because it's me. I draw character-based stuff almost always. So I did a random item generator and got a fork, and then I did a random flower generator, and I'm not going to tell you the flower. I honestly have forgotten by now, but I was like, I'm not going to remember the flower. I'm just going to use what it looks like as inspiration because I didn't want it to contain myself to just like making it exactly perfect to that flower. So yeah, let's jump right into the first page. Now, I'm sorry for the lighting and how my camera's set up. I can't fit the whole thing on screen. I am at my desk for once. I usually am on the floor recording stuff, but I'm at my desk and it's like 11:26 a.m. So the light, it's a moody day outside, so the light we're getting isn't too much. But starting here with the first page, you can see that I started this actually in 2023. When I did that cover, the video I think went up during 2024, and I did this before I even did the cover because I was just wanting to draw on a sketchbook and thought this would be really fun to just doodle some stuff. And then clearly I didn't finish it because you can see stuff that's not colored, which is fine. That doesn't really bother me. I don't know, for some reason, my color choices here, it's just, I was so annoyed that the colors weren't turning out how I wanted, because that's not Rose hair color. So, I don't know, that just annoyed me and I didn't finish it. I really love Sapphire in a Hat. I think that's so cute. I should draw her like that more, and that's a really good Lexi face. I don't draw her that often, so I really need to use that as a reference because that's super cute. But this is the first page spread, and this spread is not part of the Slam Sketchbook challenge. This is the only page that's not a part of it because I did this before I even started that. There's beeping in my ears. Oops. Moving on to the next page. Oh, this is also designed by someone on Pinterest. I thought it was so cute, so I put it in there. And that's such a cute chibi Aurora. Like, oh my goodness. Can you see that? That's adorable. Like, are you joking me? Anyway. Moving on to the next page. This is the first spread for the Slam Sketchbook. This is a artistic way of filling a spread that I am not foreign to. I've done this multiple times where I paint a blob on a sketchbook page and then kind of figure out what I think it looks like. I think I did this twice in this sketchbook. This is the first time. You've Brianna, Acorn, me, Lady, little tiny Froggy. Look at him. Froggy makes it into my sketchbooks in just such unique ways. We have Belladonna, Aurora, me, Tulip, and a random gecko. I don't have a gecko character, but this just looked so much the shape of it like a gecko. Honestly, I should have drawn Squirtle if you really think about it, because he has that kind of tail. That'd have been funny. Moving on to the next page, we have a picture of Ro and Vines, and I looked back at this picture the other day and I realized the reason I think she looks so weird is because, one, she doesn't have her eyelashes, and two, I usually have triangles on her arms and shoulders and stuff like that. I think I just skipped it because I didn't want to like muddy stuff too much, so getting her form was more important to me, but I forgot she had her eyelashes. I was like, why does this look so weird? So, and I added the butterfly stickers after because I'm a sucker for stickers. And my friend had gifted me them, so I really wanted to add them and find a use for them because they'd just been sitting there, so I was like, I'll throw them in here, that's fun. Moving on to the third page. Technically, page 5 and 6, because Slam Sketchbook page 20 pages is a lot for me, so I chose this page because instead of doing 1 and then 2, I could do a huge spread that just goes along the pages, and it really helped me to get stuff done fast. And this is the picture that was in my first thumbnail for the video, and that video soared with this page. I honestly think it's because, you know, the subject, Amai, my character, is up very close, so, you know, you can, it's her eyes. We know what it is, and I think the colors work so well together. And then I think the cute touch of adding the glitter over here is so cute. She also has like glitter in her pupils. I don't know if you can see that. I just think it was a fun page, and I made really good color choices. I feel like the complementary of the green and red. I don't know. I was very proud of myself when I did that, because when you are doing pages so quick and fast, sometimes I just grab colors that maybe don't go together, but I don't have the process or ability to think in that moment. So this was a good page, and it was a good thumbnail too. Moving on to page 7 and 8, we have a spread of my guardian characters. If you don't know anything about my guardian characters, here they are. I'm not gonna go too detail into character lore and stuff like that, because that's not really what this video is about. But if you want to hear more about that, just let me know. Here is Ikusa, Amani, and we have Eldor, and these are pieces of paper taped in. Actually, I think glued in. I didn't do a very good job because that's coming off. I know I wanted to do something with the fun pieces of paper, just because I have this construction paper sitting around, and I only get to use it like every once in a while when I have like like a sudden idea with it. So it was nice to get to use some of these pieces up in a fun way. And I was gonna put 4 characters on here, but it just didn't fit to work out that way. And plus, I usually think of these characters' color schemes with the primary, so that fit really well. And the first thing I did was glued these pieces of paper in, and then I went over top of it and drew in there and then filled it in with some fun liner. Oh, I just realized that right there is black, but these are like blue in the colors of the paper. That's annoying. So sorry if you can hear my guinea pig's water bottle in the background. They're drinking Wawa, getting their Wawa on. Moving on to page 9 and 8. This one's going to be a little more annoying to show because the paper in the middle, because the paint sticks together, so I don't want to ruin it. This spread is actually my sister's favorite one, which I don't get, but I love that for her. This one is a little more character lore based. This is the same character, but she's, you know, clearly that fire and ice representative here, where she can switch, and she does have a form where she can be both. I haven't experienced that yet. I have not experimented with it, but her name is Ember. She has a mother that, of course, wields fire, and then a father that wields, you know, cold. Ice. And I don't know, I think the color here was fun. I don't know. I remember opening the marker here, and it showed like a light blue on it, and then it was like mint green, and I was like, oh my goodness, that made me mad. It actually doesn't look too bad. I think it kind of looks fun with like that cool green there. Got a little goofy side view there. Yeah. I mean, it matches her eyes over here where they're green, which her eyes are green. I'm pretty sure they're green, yeah. And they have a red in the center, but she's a lovely character. She's one of my only dragon characters that don't have, like, how do I explain this? Aurora has like she's like the representation of, like, she's connected to me. Ember really isn't connected to anybody I know in person, and I have another character, Ryan, that's connected to another person, so she's one of the dragon characters that isn't necessarily connected to anything. She's just there. She's just extra. Moving on to page 11 and 12, this is Tulip. Say hi to Tulip. Tulip is a character I designed in the emoji character challenge, where you have 3 emojis, and then you draw a character with it. And I was asking Katie what character I should draw next, and she went Tulip, and I was like, oh, Tulip will be easy, and then I underestimated myself, and I went too easy, and I did this super fast, and I was like, wow, that's what I get for being lazy. So, but I do like the concept. I wanted to draw Tulip in different seasons, because in my mind he's like he's similar to a Pokemon in the fact that there's like tons of him that exist, but Tulip specifically, he has a little backpack that he wears, so I feel like there's hundreds of them that exist, and then some of them that have like different unique possessions that they have. So Tulip's the OG here, and we got spring, fall, winter, and then summer. So I thought that was really cute, and you can see my little drawing of that. I hate this page. It's just goofy. I'll definitely look at it for drawing the final concept for that stuff. Here is the only page, actually that's a lie, one of the only pages where I did something that wasn't with a character on it, which this is from a character. This is Aurora's markings on her back and then her wings. So it's kind of character based, but it's more abstract. I had my palette with all my paint on it, and I was annoyed because I was like, I don't want to waste paint. So I just took a palette knife and kind of put it on the page and then filled in with markers where it needed it, and I did a rainbow, and then I painted over it Aurora's wings and markings. It's very interesting. It reminds me, with the black on it, almost reminds me of like an ink blot test, but like inverted. I think it's interesting. Here is page 15 and 16. Here this was the second to, yeah, 15, 16. So we are 2 spreads away from the 20 pages. So I thought, wow, I'm gonna need a thumbnail page. And I didn't know Amaya's page was gonna turn out that great for a thumbnail, so I ended up using that one, but I wanted to draw something in case I felt like I needed a better thumbnail one. So this is what this was, and every time I get to the end of a session, I'm just like, shoot me. That's why I was... That's so dramatic. I'm so sorry. I don't mean that. So that's why I kind of like did the like pen colors coming through and then like almost like a splatter. So I could have done that better. Honestly, I really like this concept and I want to draw it again. So yeah, just something representing the first 20 pages. Not that I was having that hard of a time. I'm a little dramatic with my art. Moving on to spread 17 and 18. While I was recording, I was sat in front of my guinea pig cage, so I thought, I'm just gonna draw what I see, and I wasn't necessarily trying to do a, like, do my style. It was just, I'm trying to draw what's in front of me, and if my style shows a little bit, it does, and they kept moving. But these do look a little bit goofy, but I like this one and this one. I think that's so cute, though that does not look like Wooly. It looks more like Willy, but oh, right there, look, Willy. That makes sense. Wooly has a bigger nose, so it's a little more difficult to draw his. And I liked the concept of drawing them, so I thought, let me throw my style a little bit more in there and see what I come up with. So this is that last spread of the first 20 where I drew all my boys, except Wooly didn't make it in here because Wee Wee was just giving me so many good poses in like such cute face. He was really like giving Vogue, so I had to draw him. And I can't explain to you how accurate this is with Sprite. Like that Sprite. He's just, it's like a little Chad. I don't know. It's really cute. And that is so Wee Wee right there. I call him Wee Wee, by the way. I don't make the rules. That's so adorable. I love them so much. So this was so fun to draw. Moving on to page 21 and 20. Here's that second example of painting blobs and then drawing over top of them that I was talking about. This one's a little more fun. I like the colors I chose with the purple and pinks. It was very fun. And if you will look closely over here, let me not close the page. Good job, Chrissy. If you look closely over here, I started with, you might not be able to tell, but I can, just the way it looks. I started with a dip pen, but then ended up giving up with it. You can see me like going into an actual line art. So I used an actual line art pen and then like a dip pen here, which I actually enjoy the way the dip pen looks, but it was just taking way too long. So I only did some of them with there, but we can go through the characters. We have Twig, Cory, Galena, Kaibitsu, Marble Soda, which actually wasn't originally designed by me. It was a Toy House character that I art traded for, and I actually really love him. We have Josephine, which is a fusion character, Eldor, Amai, Vixen. I just realized she doesn't have her stitches on her face, so it looks a little goofy. And me clearly not knowing how to draw a gun. I actually do have a drawing of her holding a gun pointed at the camera. I just don't have references in front of me when I did this, so me, Chrissy, hi, Ro, which you've seen, and Sapphire, which those are not her proportions at all, but booty, you know what I mean? So look at all those lovely, lovely characters. I think Galena's is probably the most accurate just because its face. Josephine's is pretty like accurate. That's pretty cute. I mean, and Eldor, like you can't really draw that wrong, you know what I mean? Especially when I just do his helmet and not his face. moving on to the next spread here. Amai's page turned out so well with the eyes that I thought, let me do characters close up more often. So here we have Sabrina, and I think the downfall of this was I haven't drawn Sabrina really that often. I've drawn Amai multiple times and her face up close, because one of the things about Amai is she almost only has her eyes showing. So it makes sense that it's the easiest thing for me to draw. So I tried to draw Sabrina, and the fun part about this one is I wanted to, I think I wanted to get better with painting with, or sketching with just watercolor, and then you can see that, and I kind of went over with a orange pen and tried to fix what I had done. But I started with just paint, I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering correctly, which I think I am, for some parts of it. That's why here you can see that there's orange on the top of her lip for no reason. So it was fun. I love watercolor stuff. I think it's very underrated and I should do it more often. I don't know. I think if I had more, of course, if I had more time with all these, they'd be a little bit better. But, you know, you are only dealt so much time. So, moving on to the next page. Next page. These are some of my favorite spreads when I actually just do a sketch page, you know what I mean? It's called a sketchbook. I think we should include more sketching instead of trying to just do final things all the time. So this one is very fun. Cody's one of my comfort characters, probably the only guy character I can draw accurately the majority of the time. And the fact that he's a short king is my favorite thing on earth. He's my favorite thing. He's a chubby short king. So, and he dresses like a divorced dad, which you can't go wrong. I love drawing his side view. I think it just looks so fun. And he actually majority of the time has his eyes covered like that. So that was me, experimenting with his eyes like that. And he's the only character that I have that doesn't have any interesting pupil, because all of them are different designs, because he just has dots and no eye whites. So I thought that I don't think I've ever colored a drawing of his where he has just the dots. I'm now just realizing that. I don't know what that looks like. I'm very intrigued with that. But yeah, he's one of my character redesigns. I didn't do a video on him because this was a really long time ago that I redesigned him and there was something else I was going to say, but I forgot. So that's Cody for you. And he, of course, he has a pattern of X's on his cheeks, and he's a little golden retriever, and we love him. I think one of my most favorite things is drawing me interacting with my characters. I remember showing Katie this page and her being like, you need to do that more often. Just drawing me interacting with my characters. She was like, it's just more interesting that way. Because I think I have an easier time coming with poses ideas that way, because I know how I would react. And I know their energies. Moving on to the next page. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew I wanted to draw Lapis Azula, I think I named her name, or it's Azula Lapis, whichever one. Sorry, I'm American and white, so if that sounds very bland of me pronouncing it, then that's how it is. But anyway, this is that page, and her colors are very much like these background colors, like blue with yellow and some hints of orange and stuff. So I knew I would do that, so I started with painting the colors first and then going over top of that, and I think that creates a more interesting page. I think it's fun, especially since she's underwater. And I think she's so pretty. She is designed based off of a certain squid. I think it's certain octopus squid. That is I think a blue ringed octopus or something. I was going through a phase where, which I'd need to get back into, where I was looking up Pinterest charts of every single type of this animal, and octopus came up. and I was so in love with the way it looked, and I had to draw her. So there's another one of me interacting with my character, and she's more of a villainy character, which I love. Of course, there she is. I think she's breathtaking. There's not many of my characters that I don't like. Moving on to the next page, since I had done that background with the random colors, I just placed down some black, technically gray, watered down watercolor black, and just started drawing on top of it. This page is clearly better. I went in with that ink pen. That's why the lines are so sparse sometimes, because you know, you have to keep dipping and dipping. I want a fountain pen that has a cartridge in it, so I don't have to keep doing that. So if anyone knows of a good one or can recommend me one that's cheap, let me know. And I think Brianna's is the best one. I've done this pose multiple times with her. I love the way her body shifts here. I don't know why it's giving that like nice flow line. I think that's okay. And her side view is adorable. Ember looks pretty cute there. I don't hate it. And Ryan's Ryan. I'm never really that consistent with Ryan. There's Glamora. I almost said Galena. You can find her in a character redesign video, the first ever one I did. And we don't get much of Jagger, but there is Jagger. And now that I'm looking at that, that's Fulmora next to it, and I'm dumb. I can't for the life of me figure out who the heck this is. Who is this? Oh, I think it was supposed to be I think it was supposed to be Cole, actually. That's not a good drawing of Cole, so we're gonna ignore that. Moving on to page 31 and 32. Here is where I started getting a little like, I don't know what the heck to draw. So I was asking my mom and dad who are in the room, and this pages 21 through 40 I actually did downstairs in where our common room, family room, or front room is. So there's a TV in there. My mom and dad were in there, so I was asking them 2 colors. And I would choose those 2 colors and draw a page with that. And I actually think they said gold in purple. So I didn't have a gold, but I had like this like brownie, that's more almost like a dull bronze, you know what I mean? So I thought that was the closest color because I didn't want to just go yellow because that's not gold. It has more like, not cooler undertones like that, but I don't know, you know what I mean? It's not yellow. Anyway, going on a tangent, of course I drew my one and only, not one and only purple character, that's a lie, but my true love, Aurora, because she's purple, duh. So we did like a cool purpley tone and then added that lovely not gold color. So, and I thought it would be fun to do a side view with her and like have a fun hand. I clearly did not plan that out very well. So yeah, and her tail. So that's a fun one. I actually really like this one. I really considered doing it for the thumbnail, but I didn't do it for the thumbnail. This next one is my character wish. You can also find this girl in a character emoji character challenge. I think her emojis were one of the hardest ones I ever did, but I came up with something so fast. I was so proud of myself. It was, oh god, let me remember. I think it was like a book, an hourglass, and then a Tabata tree, which I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I had a whole thing in my video where I was like, I cannot remember what this tree is called. It's a wish tree in, I think, Japan or China or something, where they stick little wishes to. So that's, of course, her theme, and I did make a wish and stuff like that. I was actually like really in love with this page because of the simplicity of it and like the colors. I don't know why. I just like really love Wish so much. And her face is actually like really like not far from how I draw her. And Katie was like, this page isn't as good as you think it is. And I was like, I know it. Moving on. Page 35 and 36. Yes, this is the Britney Spears song. I will not go into it. I like the, you know, the like different, you know, sad, happy, sad, happy. So I don't know why, I just always relate this song to Tina in her youth when she had her hair super like straight and stuff. She's clearly this like similar age here. I think I don't know. I don't think I tried to make her younger here. But I don't know. I really like it. There's something about it. I know I showed my mom this page and this is her favorite character that I have, by the way, Tina. She loves Tina. So I remember showing my mom this page. She's like, I don't like that side because it's sad, but I like that one. So I just always relate that song to Tina. I don't know why. Maybe one day I'll know. Moving on to the next page, here's another spread of like just me actually sketching in a sketchbook. Kissy kissy smooch smooch. I say that all the time. That's why I had to write that. And this is Cassidy. This is a character that was started out as a gift that Katie had given me as an adopt, and I redesigned her into a cat zombie cowgirl. Yes, thank you. I don't take questions. This is so funny, by the way, that face right there. That's hilarious. And she's more of a tsundere character, quite like my character Lexi, but she's such a baddie. Look at her. Ooh. Big head, tiny body. Yeah, sometimes I clearly went in with my Tombow markers first and didn't really draw much to help myself, so I just jumped in with pen. And I haven't drawn Cassidy that much, even though there's a whole animation meme I've done with her. If you were interested in going looking, it's the Nimbasa core meme. You think that would help me with drawing her, but you'd be wrong. you'd be wrong. Moving on to the next page. Here's the only page in here that has a character in it that's not my character. This is Catherine and her different forms. You can see those are two different haircuts. But this is Katie's character. If you're wondering who Katie is, she's my twin sister, Kate Cruzan. You've seen her on the channel if you've watched a couple of my videos. But I drew one of her characters, Catherine. And of course, Katie's favorite two colors are red and blue, and Katie like loves doing different patterns and stuff, and I'm fascinated with all the things that she gets to come up with. So these are some of the ones I've seen her do throughout the years, and she loves checkerboard, and I actually really like the like splatter of all of the colors. I actually think, when I'm thinking about it, all these patterns are actually on this character, on her clothes and sweater. That's kind of her thing. She's filled with like a ton of patterns on her, and her skin is actually dots. Now I think about it, that's why I did that. So she's adorable. It's probably one of my favorite. They're called mini-me's. She bases all these characters off her, and they're just her mini-me's, and they're so cute. She's one of my favorites. She's so cute. On to the next page. This is the pages that if you will see, I did a part 2 to the second episode where I had a failed session, but I did get up to 7 pages, so I didn't want to just, mark that off and never record them. So you ended up getting an extra 7 pages for part 2. And here I wanted to do the idea of drawing down blobs and then drawing things on it, but making them like little windows. So you have, which they don't look that great, but it's a fun concept. You have me, that's my dog Wasabi. I clearly drew him perfectly. Joe, which is another version of me, and then me again. And then let me hold the sketchbook right. Lady, Tina, Aurora, Sapphire. That's such a funny face. That's hilarious. Ruby. And then you have me up there in the corner. Clearly I like drawing myself because I'm self-centered. That's actually not at all true. And then we have me, Amai, Ro, Lexi, Froggy, Nova, which I don't think I've had anything on my channel about her. And then Mayflower, which I don't have anything on my channel about her either, but if you follow my Uncut, you will have seen the Uncut drawing I did of her when I was drawing her. Moving on to the next page, this is another version of let me draw an up-close shot of my character because Amai's did so well, and because Sabrina's kind of flopped a little bit, I thought maybe it's because I'm drawing a character with a nose. That was my... That was my solution, is draw a character that doesn't have a nose, which honestly, you know what, that wasn't a bad choice here, because it definitely made it easier to focus on her eyes than any of the other features on her face. And we've seen a Galena a couple times throughout the sketchbook spread. Galena, of course, I don't know what it's called when you have the characters that have like snake for hair, but her herself is like, has scales, and she's like a kind of a snake, not in a bad way, but that's just kind of what she is. So actually, I don't think I've ever said this before, but she is designed based on pictures of almost like mood board, but not. Sometimes me and Katie like to do this challenge where we send each other pictures from Pinterest that like for inspiration, but you know, put it all together into one character. And actually, if I showed you the pictures, I don't think I have them anymore, but I do remember them. If I showed you those pictures, you'd be like, how the heck did you get here? It was a girl with galaxy hair, and then I don't even think there's anything to do with snakes in that thing. I don't really remember, to be honest, actually, now. I don't think there was, but there was. I know there's a girl with galaxy hair, and I think that's the only one I can accurately say was there. Maybe I can look into finding it again. I'll put it on screen if I do remember, but I probably won't. And she has like little constellation markings on her. She's cute. Anyway, moving on. Here's the most blandest, boringest spread I have in the thing. I actually went back in, and because I had the sketchbook open and Katie was sitting talking to me, and then I added those swirls, and Katie was watching me. She's like, I like what you're doing. It couldn't get any busier. Anyway, I was just really going through it apparently, so I painted my hand black and then put it on the spread, and I started drawing all the items for my characters and stuff. There's Aurora's markings on her back, which is the only main girl that doesn't have an item, by the way, if you don't know that. She has a marking that glows instead of an item. Lexi's earrings, Sapphire's scrunchie, Tina's necklace, Lady's hairpin, Rose flower crown. There's my pen, of course. Ruby's ring, and Amaya's fan. And then I finished drawing those, and I was like, okay, well, now I ran out of items. So I just drew little drawings of me sitting on the page, just over it. That one's funny, the one standing. Yeah, I was over it. Honestly, this is a fun concept though, of like putting a hand and then doing doodles in the middle, so like that might actually be like a fun idea to do in the future. And as a reminder, this is the spread, or the 7, we're still in the 7 pages where this wasn't technically a part of the Slam Sketchbook final stuff, but just an extra thing that I didn't get finished. So actually, I think this is what happened. I did this page, and then I stopped because I was like, nope, not having it. And then the next day I started up, and I was like, I could do the thing where I just don't tell you that I didn't do each of these in the day, but then I was like, that doesn't feel fair. So I did start this one in the way that I was like, I'll just do the rest of them the next day, and like, it's fine, because like the only person who cares that much is me, you know what I mean? But then I actually ended up really liking these pages, some of these pages that I did, and there's 2 of them, which includes this one and another one where I spent like an actually like pretty decent amount on time on it. Like, not this one wasn't a ton of time, but where I spent more time than normal, just taking my time and like kind of just breathing through it. There's actually a verse on here, Genesis 9:12, the rainbow, 9:12 through 17. The rainbow that I have put in the sky will be my sign to you. Every living creature on earth, it will remind you that I will keep my promise. It's like, you know, it's a verse about God talking about the rainbow being a sign where he's not going to flood the earth again. So since she has rainbow hair, and Icuse is one of my more religious characters, I thought it'd be really fun to throw that in there as something fun. And I really liked the like scramble of like the letters throughout. I thought that was really interesting. Oh, let's see, promise forever. So I was actually really in love with this page. Ikusa's face shape is not that, but it gets the job done because you know that's Ikusa. Moving on to the next page. Here is actually probably the best sketch spread I've done flow-wise with just doing sketch of characters. It's Josephine. I'm apparently like in love with her because she's made it into a lot of spreads, which is very weird. I think it might be because she's made only Cyclops character that actually has a nose, and I find it really interesting in the way it sits on her face. I don't know. And she is a fusion. She's a fusion of Joe and Rosanna. So, I don't know. It's interesting. I think I've said this in my Slam Sketchbook when I was talking about this page. This shadow like thing that's like almost like from her hair. I do like the concept. I don't think I'm gonna give it to Josephine, but it is going to go to another concept of a fusion just because here, I'll tell you. Josephine and Joe, any character that's fused with Joe, which is me, my dragon character form, has a negative trait and like some negative emotion tied with them that make them like lash out. So I wanted hers to like relate to poison ivy or like vines, and since Rose a healer, I wanted her to be like poisonous in some sort of way with like plants and stuff. And I thought that's a cool idea, but this like dark shadowy vine would fit Joe, Ro, and Sapphire as a 3 fusion, because Sapphire has magic power where she can create like shadows from her like veins on her arm that are dark, and I thought that'd be so cool if I added Sapphire into that mix. So this is kind of a concept for that idea, but not with Josephine. So if you were interested, and also I don't know if you can see that I have really like long veins there. That's why I created Sapphire, because I was always so, it's not an insecurity of mine that I have really like veins that show. It's actually such a fascination that I have. So speaking of Sapphire, so that's why Sapphire was created, if you're ever curious. This is my favorite spread in this sketchbook, and this page is honestly the reason that I didn't get that like second session done, because I spent quite the time on this, and you can tell. I could have gone longer, but I did stop at some point and was like, okay, I can't spend forever on this. And I don't know, I loved it so much. With these last, let's say, I think starting with this page and then going through, I actually did have, I was in my room for this one, and I opened Pinterest and I pulled pictures out that I thought were really interesting and stuff that I wanted to like recreate or take inspiration from. Recreate's a strong word. Like for this one, there was a person with a blue background that had like orange butterflies around it, and I was like, oh, work. That color scheme would be so fabulous for Aurora. The color scheme would be so fabulous for Sapphire. Let me take that idea with the butterflies. And take the idea as a strong word. There was just butterflies in the picture, so I don't want to be like, I stole somebody's art. I didn't. Inspiration. I cannot stress that enough. But I thought this was like so pretty, and I loved the way I did like the little like tiny like different strokes of like some colored pencils and then the paintbrush, and that's all me. That's not at all the picture I was looking at, you know what I mean? That's all me, honey. That color theory, all me, mama. Get into it. But I thought this was so beautiful, and I've never drawn Sapphire with like hues tinted of like green and yellow. Oh my gosh, guys, that's gorgeous. Oh my god, I'm gonna do this again. I also like that this reminds me of Gingham. I don't know why Gingham, the pattern. I think this is so beautiful. I outdid myself. Okay, here's the next page. I just took a drink off camera and just got it all over my face. That's okay. moving on to this page from Sapphire to this. This was the last page of that spread of seven. I just wanted to do a cute froggy drawing, honestly. I don't think I just had the art supplies out to commit to something that was like a solid pop color. So yeah, it's just Froggy. He makes his way into my heart all the time. And I just wanted to do like fun, goofy patterns. I don't know. I didn't spend that much time on this one. I also didn't care that much on this one. Because like once something goes the way you don't want it to, you're like, whatever. So anyway. Now this is going to be the last, this is going to be day 3 of the, I say day 3, but part 2 had like those 2 days where I just started and failed, but that's okay. This spread, actually, I take it back when I said about that first page in the sketchbook. This one was technically not a part of it, but I included it anyway. Don't shh. I did it the day before as a warm-up because I was like, wow, I'm about to jump into a Slam Sketchbook session and I haven't drawn in my sketchbook in like a month. So I was like, I need to do something. So I opened some Pinterest drawings, and whenever I want to draw fun things of Tina, I open up like old drawings of like Barbie or like different I don't know if you've guys ever seen this, where they're like old packets of instructions on how to make clothes, and they'll be like these really pretty drawings on them. I don't know if I can explain it right, but if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. So that's what I used for this inspiration. It's okay. I clearly was like, I started out, this one took the longest, I spent the most time on it, and then this one's clearly the best because of the way it's actually like closest to Tina's face. And the fun part about this is I didn't do a sketch first. I just blocked in the shapes of the stuff I wanted to do, so it was more of a challenge to try and get it look more like Tina because I didn't do a base sketch. Now these last pages are inspired by those pages where it was just me actually sketching, and I only spent I think 15 minutes on each, 10 or 15 minutes on each page. I didn't want to spend too long on it because I was just like, okay, we need to get this done, and it needs to get done now. So I made myself a character timer, and I would have a character up for 10 minutes, and then I'd swap the next page to the next one. So technically this is a full spread, but I did do this page first, that page next, and so on and so forth. So of course the character I started first with was me, and this was that warm-up of that day. I know I did this the day prior, so I spent quite a while on it just because I was goofing off and stuff, but this was like the first sit down of the day of that day, and I started drawing and sketching. You can see I started with pen and then went in with the color, and then over top of that did the purple as like a liner. So there's me, my doggy Wasabi. I love him so much. And the next spread was my character, me, Joe, of course. So I went ahead and threw me in there anyway, because interaction character, just easier to come up with poses that way. This is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life, by the way. That's hilarious, and I love that. And then I was just trying to fill up space. So honestly, the biggest challenge of this was to come up with poses and like expressions and what exactly I should draw. I really love that. I don't know. I like that. I like the angles of the directions of the like line and stuff like that. So, and I even said this in the video when I was doing it, I have never done a back shot of Joe ever, where it was showing her back and the design. So I actually got to experiment with that, which I actually really, really enjoyed. Moving on, this is actually one of my favorites. Aurora looks a little goofy here. Do I think that looks like Aurora's face? No, I do not. Do I think it's fun? I absolutely do. And I started with my pink pen and kind of just plopped it on there. I think I tried to do one big sketch, one medium, and then one like smaller one. So we have, I I feel like I've drawn Aurora like this way before multiple times in like a banana banana shape. And then we got her laying on her tummy tum tum and little face. I like these because the colors, I like the green and then the pink and then like the blue that is on both pages. Here's Sapphire. So I did this page first and then this one, and Sapphire, of course, was gonna be like so good because she's my one that like is my comfort drawing character. Not my comfort character, but my comfort drawing character. So she's a little more easier for me to just come up with ways to draw her. I think because she is so tall, I have a fun time doing perspective stuff. So her feet being really close to the camera and then like her face being smaller is so interesting. Also, you will see me do this a couple times where I do the side view and then the front view. I just think it's so interesting. She looks so funny there. Yeah. I like the flow. I like it. It's interesting. Moving on to the next page. Here is where I was like, let me not just do pen drawings the whole time. So I actually went and grabbed my really old gouache palette, like super old. It's like hella dry, like super dry. So I used that because I thought it'd be fun, and I don't use it that often, so it wouldn't be a waste to use it on it. It'd just be like a good way to use it. So we have a side view of Tina, you know, a fun little poses, like the tiny little drawing. That's so funny to me. That is so funny. I don't know. Those are my favorite drawings. Little tiny teeny ones. I think this one of Lady and Tina there is pretty. I don't know why. Just the way her face looks is very like delicate and soft, and I love it. But yes, she's so pretty there. And of course we have Lady, which I love her so much. That face is adorable. I don't know why. That's hilarious right there. I was drawing that so fast, by the way, because I was like, I'm running out of time. Drew fast. And then there's Froggy. That I've never drawn Froggy like that. That is so funny. And yeah, on this one, I actually started with paint first, and then went over it with line art. I don't know. I think this is a fun spread, and I think it's super interesting. Here we go. Now we're getting into something fun. Am I? Here you'll see again the side view and then the front stance. I don't know why. I like this page. I think the colors with the purple and the well, actually pink, more like it. Pink and the yellow match with the blue, the light blue and the dark blue. I don't know, there's something about it that I really like. That makes me want to draw her sitting in like rain, like really badly. Y'all don't understand. And her skin actually like is not this light. It's like that dark, like even darker. And Tina's skin's pretty dark as well. Like she's not that color. She's like much darker. Like that's a closer thing, but it's just a little sometimes it's just a little intimidating to get your colors that dark when you're trying to do something with line art over it. So here for me it's not that big of a deal, but I do want to clarify that. Yeah, and of course that pink actually it isn't that light, but it gets the what you want across, and that's really all that matters. And I think she's so pretty and gorgeous, and we don't get a lot of pictures with her mouth showing because it's kind of like in my mind a spoiler in my mind, but no one else understands it, so that's okay. This is my favorite spread of the final session. I really like this idea with like the faces with Ikusa. Ikusa's such, I'll never get bored of this girl. Never. I just realized I didn't align her ear there. Yeah, and then like with her paint dripping down, and I didn't line her horn either. I guess I was running out of time real fast. Apparently I just didn't see. But I think this is such a win. Her colors are so pretty too all of the time. Moving on to the next spread. Oh, you know what? I might have to take it back. This one I think might be my favorite my favorite spread. Just because the I could not have gotten luckier with this character choicing next to each other, like the complementary, the blue and like red and orange. Like, are you joking me? That is fabulous. Of course, we have Amani, and I did like a little side view. That's so cute, by the way, that little like face side view. That's adorable. His side view does not, his face is not that squashed, but that's like adorable. I wish it was. And I tried to add like a little bit more detail. Not shading, but like a little more like effort into that. And then we have Ember, which we have seen Ember. And apparently I need to draw her often, or I need to commit to something. I think one right there is the most accurate one. I really like that expression on her. I think that's really interesting. Well, of course, tiny drawings. I don't know. I love it. And I added that like a dot splatter on there, and I think it was so fun and interesting. I don't know. It's fun. I find that I'll do like a base color and then paint something on top, and it helps. It really does help like with contrast sometimes when I'm trying to do things. So like here, I clearly went in to try and like cut some of it and separate some of the drawings. I think that makes it more interesting. So I don't know, and I clearly did that here too. Just makes it more interesting and fun. I hate this one. Don't look at it right now, but look at Cody. I actually really like the colors of this. I know, the green, white, and then the red in the background, which I didn't think I'd like so much, but I really do for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why, but I love the bleeding of the X here. I think it's interesting. I don't know. There's just some certain things, like a little side view. Some things I just like, and more drawings of drawing his little dot eyes. I love this side view. It looks like the one I drew in the last one. The other sketch I did of Cody, so that's interesting. Moving on to this one, which I hate. This is Sabrina, and I will tell you why I hate this. The colors are awful. I don't know what the heck was happening. If I was just like spent more time on the sketch and then just ran through the line art and colors, this is awful, and I don't want to look at it anymore. I do like the concept though, because when she has a second jaw and it can open, and she has like a spider jaw that she spins web from out of her mouth. I think that's super cool, and her eyes actually glow red. I think having a drawing with eyes glowing red in the background to refer to her other with, you know, form, I think is really interesting. Terrible execution. I don't want to look at it anymore. Yay, Brianna! We love Brianna. We stan Brianna. If you don't know anything about Brianna, she is one of my characters that is a little... Anyway, I don't want to say anything. I was gonna say disability, but I don't want to my brain's like, am I using that term correctly? Because I don't want to say anything wrong. She doesn't have an arm, okay? She has one wing and the other one doesn't. So she's one of my characters that's more interesting and unique, and we want representation. So I get that face out of there. So she actually is a pole dancer, and I don't mean that in like a sexualized way. I know that, you know, people will look at the outfit and wearing, be like, are you sure that's not a sexual way? And I'm like, well, first of all, to be a pole dancer, you need to have skin on the pole. I know she's covered in feathers, but like the concept of that still does not change. So that's why she has like a more of a lesser outfit, if anyone's curious. I'm not just getting my nasty on. Okay, I need to not say that. That's why she has an outfit like that. So if you're ever... That face is so funny, I can't. If you're ever curious about something, Brianna, that's her occupation. And I wanted to draw her as like a dancer because she's still fabulous, even though she only has one arm. And I think she's lovely, and I think we need more of that. Anyway, here's my character Bam Bam. Ignore that. This is a good drawing. This is bad. This is the first ever time I've ever drawn him outside of his ref. So please give me a break. This is the first time he's ever made it in a sketchbook, and I forgot to hit record on when I was drawing. I was so annoyed. But this is like a nice side view. I've never drawn his side view before. So, and this is the final drawing of this session, and I went back to my like full spread idea drawings, and this is like what I was just so... Every time by the end of these, I'm just like, oh my god, can it be over? So I was drawing my setup where I have my like ring light and stuff and sitting there, and I did in black and white. This is not a good side view. That's not at all. I do think it's an interesting concept, and I wrote content on there. So I think it's interesting and I think it's fun. And I should draw this again actually, so we can see what it looks like. And here is the last page. And here, this is a great idea. And I was like, I do these hearts, and then I was like, ooh, every comment that I got on my Slam Sketchbook, I'll just stick it in here. So that's the last page. So if you want any of your comments to be in this page, just write a comment, good or bad, I don't care. And I'll write it in this sketchbook. Yay, that means I don't have to do a page. Woo. And then this is a blank, actually. That's from something else, because I went to a different place and was recording, and I had this sketchbook with me, and I was like, ooh, let me draw what I was going to work on, and then I drew that and then didn't need to do anything else. So ignore that page with nothing on it. I was just going to leave this blank. I think what I was going to do was, because there's a pocket in here, I was just going to grab some of the 2024 art that I did digitally and just stuff it in here just to just get like a look back. But yeah, this is that. So any comment you have, I will write on here. And that's the final page. We've hit the end. It's been a whole hour, oh my goodness, of me recording. I don't know how much of that will be a whole hour of the video. I don't know if how much I'm gonna edit or not, but that is the video. Jeez, I hope you enjoyed. If you liked any of this art, please hit the subscribe button, comment, like. It would really, really help me. I'm trying to be more consistent and better with titles and thumbnails. So if you are someone who's an experienced YouTuber, please give me tips. No. Well, actually, you can. I didn't mean to say no. You can give me tips. Or anything you want to see more of. If you like the Slam Sketchbook challenge, if you don't. What I've seen with, we've been here for an hour. You've been listening for me for an hour talking. You might as well listen for the rest of it, you know what I mean? So, you know, if you've made it this far, you're clearly okay with me rambling. For the first video I did for the sketchbook Slam Sketchbook challenge, it got good views, and then like I feel like the more I've done it, the kind of less it's been getting an interaction with, which is okay for me. I do videos because I enjoy them, and I know that there is like a small percentage of people that do enjoy it, so I wouldn't just like stop doing it, but I do want to see how I can make it more interesting or something like that. So if you like this video, please share with someone you think will enjoy it, because I'm always, even today, I hadn't gotten that many comments on my last Slam Sketchbook thing, and then someone commented being like, yeah, I really like this new follower, and I was like, I would literally just do a video for that, just that one person it reaches, just because, you know, I like inspiring other people with art, and it's fun. And those are probably like some of my favorite comments to get, is that like you inspired me to work in my sketchbook, because I think that's so sweet. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you in the next one, and I hope to get more sketchbook tours done for the Slam Sketchbook and for regular sketchbook tours. Maybe we can get some Chrissy art that's like actually decent that I spent a lot of time on. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Have a blessed day and have a great rest of your week, I guess. Yeah, bye.